What is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown, episode 268. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
What's up, people? How's it going?
Chris Seeley.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Carlos Romero.
Ooh, what's up, humans?
And Brian Manjoma.
What up, guys?
All right, no Adam action, no Brett action. Adam's he suffered a wrestling injury, apparently. Fucked up his back, so he'll be back when he's gonna be back, you know. And Brett's on vacation because Saturday, I believe it's Saturday. Let me do a double check.
Yeah. It's his birthday's
his
coming
birthday
up,
Saturday. So
Saturday,
he went to Hawaii to celebrate.
Hawaii.
Damn.
You know?
That's one hell of a birthday.
It's a celebration, bitches.
Yo, Carlos, I'm gonna have a hell of a birthday come next week, man. Is it next week? No, the week afterwards. Ooh.
No, it's in 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks. It's crazy, man. So yeah, this week's episode is gonna be a little bit interesting because this is one of those weeks that we, occasionally have where kind of nothing happens, just a bunch of little stories here and there. But you know how we gonna throw it down, man. We'll get this shit done.
We'll throw it down.
Yeah, right. That's what we do around here, man. All right. So the first thing, actually, before we even start the episode, right? Got to give some congratulations / shout outs, man. The first one is to Glorious War for winning the contest last week, which is cool.
Thank you for finally getting back to us, Glorious. I'll definitely get that thing out to you, and I'll put a little something extra in there. I don't know, maybe a solid 0 tape.
Yeah. Do they have tape players in Australia, man?
It's a USB drive. It's all good.
Yeah, So that's what's going on there. We're going to have more contests. Probably going to chill out on contests for a little bit because I'm going to be kind of on and off from the show. But when I come back, we're going to start giving you some heavy shit. So get ready for that. All right. And also, I want to give a huge shout out to Gamertag Radio. These guys dropped a bomb. Bomb on the industry, people. So these guys, they're pretty much like the first gaming podcast out of all of them. They're celebrating their 1000th episode. And they're going to have, and remember, Gamertag Radio, obviously, by the name, you can see, it is an Xbox now, but it originally began as a Xbox-centric kind of podcast, right? Danny Pena, founder and everything, right? We got Paris Lily and Pete Rock there, too. But, they celebrate everything, but they want to honor their legacy of the podcast beginning by having the man, the myth, the legend on. So they're going to have Phil Spencer for episode 1000 of Gamertag Radio.
Damn.
Uncle Phil.
That's pretty big, man.
Yeah, man.
Superstars.
So that's pretty nuts. And, since I know the guys, I know they've been working for this for a while. So it's like, oh, shit. Like, that's pretty awesome, man. I'm going to talk about Danny a little bit later because him and we got to hang out earlier this week at an event in New York, which was a lot of fun, which I remember about half of. You know how I do, man. Fucking getting drunk and stupid.
I wonder
why. All right, so let's get into no feature topics. We're just, a bunch of random stuff here. So the first thing we're going to talk about is we have a possible look at the back of the Xbox Series X, which you guys remember was premiered at the Game Awards back in December. And we know what this thing looks like. It's not like the PlayStation 5 where we just have a bunch of mock-ups and shit. We know what this thing looks like. And these new pictures have surfaced, because here's the thing. Nowadays, you kind of have to go, hey, is this a 3D print? But this looks pretty legit to me. This is a prototype version of it.
So this is not those images that were shown by Nvidia. Nvidia. It wasn't Nvidia, right? It was
AMD. No, it's not that.
No, it wasn't the AMD ones, right?
No. This is like, at least from the pictures, it looks like it's on somebody's carpet, basically.
Okay.
And what I can see. What's up?
Well, wait a minute.
Uh-oh.
Wait a minute.
Oh, thank you for the image, man. Awesome. Yeah. There we go, people. Hey, there's a visual show, too.
You know who it is. It's the visual aid guy.
It's the visual aid guy. All right. So, Carlos, since you have it open there, why don't you tell us what you see back there, man?
So, I do see 2 USB 3.0 ports. I see an Ethernet port. And this is coming from bottom right to left. The power cord connector right next to it, to the left of that, and on top of that, there's an HDMI. It's pretty scuffed up. To the right of that, I don't know what the hell that is.
I was gonna ask you, what the fuck is that shit?
It's like a type of expansion port or something. Yeah. Like maybe for the future. I don't know. Pro Stick Dual port. I don't know what the hell that is.
It's for that new Connect.
It's for Connect 3, right? You know.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. Maybe some Chris, Brian. Do you guys anybody
I
know?
have no idea.
Yeah,
I heard that it was something to do with like a dev kit thing, and that it's only on dev kits that has
okay.
that.
Oh, you know what it might be?
know.
It may be a dongle to unlock the like he said, the dev kit. Usually, remember, back in the day, Maya used to have that. You used to have to plug this thing into your PC
Yeah.
to get it to work. It was a physical key. This thing might need a physical key to work.
Okay.
So that might not be in the final version. That might
Wait,
be
oh,
just
so
a
you
dev
mean
kit.
that the one that looks like it has an Xbox logo on it?
No,
right?
no, not that. That's the power supply. We're talking about that thing in the middle on the top. You see that has
I mean, it also could be like a drive or something like that.
But it could be something that only the development kit has. So don't expect that.
And the right looks like the optical port.
Yeah,
that's the optical port for audio. The interesting thing here is that there's only one HDMI port, and
that's right.
The Xbox One notoriously had two, one for input and two for inputs actually. Wait,
What's up?
no, I have a. Where's my Xbox?
Yeah, you can actually
gotta-
look at the back. Of
Well,
that shit.
I know there was an input and output HDMI port on the system because you could use it like a DVR.
Yeah. So again, since this is a prototype, something's will definitely change, in the final product, But I think
Dusting this shit off.
I find it weird that
Yeah.
the ports are not oriented the same way.
Yeah, the Xbox One S has an HDMI input and an HDMI output.
Interesting.
Yeah, the HDMI in was used for your satellite cable boxes or stuff like that, and obviously the out is for your output. But yeah, I'm surprised they didn't have this. I think wasn't there when this originally got announced, there was like a rumored picture or something like that had both.
Yeah, there was.
I think it might have been a fake, but I wasn't too sure. Like if it was like, say, oh, this is clearly a fake or not. But yeah, I don't know. It's. I wonder if because it looks like it's just the back, right? There's not any other pictures.
No, there is.
There's
a front. And again, we have to stress these are still alleged images, so take these with a Xbox grain of salt.
And this is a front right here. It looks like there is a USB port on the bottom right. There is what is this? Maybe a sync button or an IR port or something?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
It could be either of those. It looks like a button, but it looks like
Look at this.
it has like a glossy finish, so it could be an IR port, but I'm not sure. And then to the left is the disc drive, the Blu-ray drive.
Yeah, man.
Check button and the power button on the top.
Blu-ray.
The Xbox logo. Hey man, I'm a big fan of this design. It's something different.
Yeah, man.
So
The monolith.
Makes me hungry because it looks like a fridge.
It does look like a fridge. Yo, man, yo, imagine those little mini fridges for your work table or your work desk. Just have like an Xbox.
That'd be
Well,
hilarious.
Wouldn't it be like funny, like if you had one of those mini fridges and it was shaped like an Xbox, Xbox Series X thing? Like you have them on both sides of your thing. So one's the console, one's the thing to keep your beer cold.
And I could just imagine if you like have one of these in your office or something, and somebody comes in, looking for for like a drink, and they try to open it. It's like, yo, where's the handle for this shit? Like, it's an Xbox, bro. It's not a fridge, man. What the fuck you doing? But yeah, again, we don't, we can't exactly verify this, but it looks pretty legit. But again, we have been fooled before. Remember the whole Nintendo Switch thing? The controller.
It's funny because that guy did when it came with the Switch thing, like he actually made it really well.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and he based it off the prototype.
It came pretty close. Didn't speaking of which, didn't the late Joy-Con boy purchase?
Well, that's where Joy-Con boys came from when he pulled that thing out.
Yeah, that's what he bought. He bought that prototype, the fake prototype.
Yeah, he did. But I was more talking about the because remember they said the controller had a screen, the original version. It kind of looked like a Vita almost. So somebody did a 3D point of that. If you guys remember back, this was when the fuck was that? 2016. It was. I covered, for Geek.com. I covered that whole saga during the whole week. It's like these images got leaked. Oh, here's some more images. Here's some more images, and then the final article was how they faked us all. Because it was a whole elaborate hoax, man. It was a wild ride for sure. But this, I'm gonna say this. Look, this is probably not the final version, but I think this is an actual real prototype. I could be wrong, but that's what I think it is.
And how far off can it be? Like it's got all the standard stuff.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't have all that shit people talked about. Remember, it had like 1 million ports. The first fake one, whatever.
Yeah. Like,
come on, man. They don't have all this shit. That one probably did have a Connect 3 port or something, Yeah.
Man, the crazy thing is, I like how it looks. I'm just thinking, am I even gonna buy this thing?
You are, bro. Come on.
Nah, man. This year's different.
Damn.
I'm a change man.
You're a change man because you're going on all those trips. You can't afford it, man.
Consoles. You don't need no consoles.
You just upgrade your graphics card, Carlos. You're good to go, man. You still play the same games.
Upgrade that graphics card, and on your laptop, so you can play on the go.
Man, all I gotta say is Game Pass. I'm grateful for Game Pass. Just get all the games on the PC now.
There you go, man. You don't have to worry about it. Anyway, any last thoughts on this Xbox thing? I guess we'll just have to see, But I think it's legit, It's not those AMD pictures, that's for sure. Anyway, let's move on here. So before, just a little bit of a setup, Manny. So you said earlier this week you sent us a video of some guy who also claimed that the PlayStation 5 was going to have full backwards compatibility.
It's weird. Like that guy confirmed. Like he said that in the video he says that.
By the way, the guy's literally just called the gamer.
The gamer. This guy, the gamer, somehow said that in the video he said that Sony confirmed that they were going to have full backward compatibility. And I was thinking at the time, I'm like, this is weird because I haven't seen any sort of real information about this.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, other than the hip hop gamer stuff.
Other than the hip hop gamer thing, but yeah, other than that, he obviously he pulled up a couple of the patents that Sony had, and he explained some of those. But at the same time, it's like there was no real legitimate source for that.
No, there isn't. So what's going on now is Push Square, big Sony centric or PlayStation centric website. They brought this video up because apparently this video has been making the rounds. A bunch of gaming sites are actually using it as reference, as a source. They're saying, "Yo, this video is a source." Even though the video itself has no sources, right? But this gamer channel, the guy has a 1.54 million subscribers, so it's not a small channel. It's not just some rinky-dink shit, But and apparently, the description of the video says Sony's PlayStation 5 has officially confirmed that it has full backwards compatibility with all previous PlayStation consoles.
Yeah, but how is that?
Yeah.
When did Sony say that?
That's what I'm saying. They didn't say nothing,
And the only thing that he brought up in the thing there was a patent from 2017, which was for architecture that adjusts itself to mimic the stats of a specific generation of a PlayStation, to fool the software into thinking it's running on that thing.
Yeah, it's not the what is it, the
no, it's
rendering
not
engine or whatever the fuck it is.
It's not
the remastering engine.
Remastering engine. There you go.
The best way I could explain it, it's kind of like the way the Super NT works, where essentially it's hardware that's mimicking. It's hardware, a chip that's mimicking some sort of hardware environment.
Yeah.
So, in other words, meaning that it mimics it, so it's sort of a semi one-to-one or a one-to-one replica of what you're supposed to see, as opposed to it being emulation or something. It's being done by hardware. But
yeah, exactly.
It's only a patent, and there's other than it's the thing about patents is they can literally put the idea for a patent out, but they haven't actually made anything yet.
Yeah.
And this is not the first. This is also not the first of these sort of backward compatibility patents that Sony has had. In fact, the one that Hip Hop talks about is another one that they did later. So I don't know.
Yeah. And here's the thing, just to back up a little bit, we do know for a fact that PlayStation 5 will be backwards compatible with PS4. Sony did confirm that.
They've at least said that.
We don't know how that's going to work exactly, whether you could just stick your disc in and you download them like Xbox, or whether you play them straight. I'm going to guess you could probably play them directly off the disc because it's the same fucking shit inside, but who knows? The x86 architecture or whatever, Blu-ray drive, so I'm going to assume you could play your disc right off of there. But we know that for a fact, but the thing I kind of want to get across is like this kind of shows you how like thirsty people are for PlayStation 5 news. It's like they're believing these videos that don't even have. Basically, it's like yo, if the video itself has no verification, how can you use that to verify? You know what I'm saying? Like, or confirmation. It's like it makes no fucking sense. Like you can't source something that itself has no source. At least with Hip Hop Gamer, he explained himself. This video, it's like Manny said, there's been so many other type of patents. You can't, just because a patent exists doesn't mean it's going to become a reality. As Chris is always telling us.
There's a difference between speculation and confirmation.
Right.
So it's like take it like this shit is not canon, like not yet at least, and it just doesn't make. I'm not a believer that they're gonna get the freaking PS3 in this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't.
Thing.
Yeah.
Chris, what's your take on this, bro?
No, it's lazy journalism. To be honest with you, okay, this guy can say whatever he wants. He's on YouTube. It's like, it's all confirmed, but. These guys writing articles sourcing him. It's like, do you watch the video? Did you see him say like, Sony executive or Sony this? No, you get it from he's interpreting it from a patent, and really he's doing a lot of wish casting based on what he saw. That's not confirmation of jack shit. Yeah. So it's very irresponsible for people to be like, this guy made a video on it. Anybody can make a video on it. I could make a video on PS5 and say could fucking fly you to the moon,
right?
And Sony confirmed it. So am I reliable? No. Because I don't have any real source information, so it's kind of lazy. And we did talk about it when Hip Hop came on and explained himself, and I appreciate him doing that. And I even said like I don't see how they're going to do PS3 emulation.
Yeah, I think we all agree on that one. It's like okay, PS1, PS2, we've seen those emulated already many times. PS3 is the problem. PS3 that's the main problem.
Well, I mean, PS3, the way they did initially, they had backwards compatibility with PS1 and PS2, and what they did is they had essentially a PS2 on the PS3.
Yeah,
they had and
they had an emotion engine.
Mm-hmm. And what are they going to do with the PS3? Are they going to have a cell engine? They haven't worked on that. That shit's been on they forgot about the cell engine for years now. They don't work on that. It's not going to get reduced into a size where it's going to fit with everything else and not take up much power and heat. Mm-hmm. Unless you emulate it, but everybody knows that PS3 was the hardest to emulate.
Yeah, somebody would have emulated it now if they could have. I know there's some games like I saw Yakuza 4 emulation, which was decent, but it wasn't there. Like that and Sega Saturn emulation are like the difficult ones, Like try to emulate that fucking system. That was another one that had crazy like internals and stuff,
And mark my words, if Sony releases the PS5 and has a PlayStation Classics library, kind of like a virtual console with Nintendo, and they release like remastered PS3 games, that's not backwards compatibility. So I don't want people saying, they were right because they have
I see what you're saying.
On the
PSN because store. Everybody's saying like, you could just pull your PS3 disc out and throw it in the PS5.
Exactly.
And like you said, they're not going to have that.
All they're back here,
Yeah, exactly. I have a ton too. And believe everybody here would love that. Like, there's nobody sitting here that wouldn't love if Sony just came out and said, "Yep, your entire fucking library from the beginning would work."
Dude, if again, Chris, we're just speculating now. We're not speculating. If that happened, big if, PlayStation 5 automatically wins the generation instantly.
Absolutely.
25 years of fucking games? Are you kidding me? You know?
And all of their games from day one are disc-based.
Oh, man. And think about it like this. We talked about this before, right? Not all of them, but a good chunk of PlayStation's games from all eras, PS1, 2, 3, and 4, they're all digital.
Yep,
they're digital, so they're ready.
They're all sitting on the network. And to be honest, if this allowed them to turn off the Vita shit, turn off the at least to turn off the PS3 stuff, don't you think that they would do that?
Of course they would.
Supporting was it a 10-year, probably a 10-year-old console right now, right?
That would be crazy. Again, we've always hear rumors and stuff. Even hip hop was talking about how they're trying their hardest to get PS3 games to work. It's possible, and you never want to say never, but at the same time, that damn cell processor is making things tough. So that's my main reason. Like if it wasn't for that, I would have been like, yep, they're gonna do it, but I don't think so.
And they haven't officially said anything. And it's everybody's just kind of grasping at straws and trying to look at all the patents that the years old patents and seeing if these hold any sort of weight.
Yeah, we're in the God damn it. I'm bad with these like phrases like what's the day before the storm? I don't know what the
calm before the storm.
Calm before the storm. The day before the storm.
I like that.
I'm making my own, man. Yeah. Like it's like we're expecting something. We're expecting big news, and there's a silent period where people could take advantage of everyone's ignorance in order to propel their platforms. And that's what I feel like this guy's doing. What is his name? The gamer?
Yeah,
the gamer.
I feel like it's a gamble. If he's right, like he's just throwing it out there, and if he's right, he's gonna get all the credit in the world. Oh, this guy knew before. But guess what? If you're wrong, you're gonna look like such a chump, man.
But at the same time, if he's wrong, let's just be real right now. If he's wrong, people are gonna be, it's a YouTuber.
Oh, they'll forget about it.
Like it's a YouTuber, whatever.
I think with hip hop's situation, it's a little bit different because he's putting his own reputation on the line. Where this guy's essentially performing misinformation.
Yeah. And everybody who quoted him as a source is going to ignore it, right?
They're going to look stupid, But I guess if you have and we're not trying to hate on this gamer guy, obviously, but it just seems like, okay, if you have 1.5 million followers, you're automatically a credible source. It doesn't work like that, people. It doesn't work like that, You have 10 million fucking followers, I don't know why people. I thought we would have learned this already. It's like, don't trust things you see on the internet off the bat.
Yeah.
Now, Carlos, I'm thinking about a turn of phrase right now too. It's like, believe nothing. What is it? It's like believe only half of what you see and nothing that you hear. Something along those lines.
Bro, you're asking the wrong person.
Yeah, but
I'm bad with these things.
Yeah. Well, I damn it. I think I thought I was going to fuck it up. I think I actually got the quote right. But yeah, so that's how it is with the internet. See, here's the thing. Normally, I would tell you guys take this with a grain of salt. No, because this is bullshit. I'm calling it right now. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. I don't believe it. All right. So at least not from this guy. I'm not saying that you can't see PS3 games, but the way he came up with the conclusion is bullshit.
I just, and I'm gonna reiterate the point. I think Chris mentioned it, or probably it was everyone's sentiment. We hope this is real.
Of course, yeah, that'd be fantastic.
It'll be freaking awesome. It'll be 100 million guaranteed again.
I still got PS2 games here, son.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah. If this is full backwards compatible, again, off the bat, instantly wins the generation. I don't care. Shout out to Goose7 for following us, brother. Appreciate that. Hope you enjoy the show. So yeah. Oh, by the way, Mighty Nerd is in the house. See, Mighty Nerd, because of your precious cell processor, we can't get full backwards compatibility, man.
Oh, dude.
Oh, hey, man. All right, Brian, what do you think about this, bro?
I just think it's really funny. Again, it just seems like it's just way too weird that he just will throw it out there, and I think he's just desperate just to get some sort of attention on the whole thing. Again, we all hope that he's right because it's the best thing, but again, we're all just skeptical. And my stance on journalists and how lazy they are, so yeah, not surprised.
Yeah, it's just funny all these sites are picking up on it. It's like, come on, guys. Come on, man. All right, so moving on to some more kind of fun news. Some of you guys may be too young to remember this really awesome RPG from the Sega Dreamcast called Skies of Arcadia. I believe it got ported once to the PS2, and that's about it.
No,
GameCube
it wasn't
came out
even
on
on
GameCube.
PS2. It was on
GameCube.
GameCube.
It was on GameCube,
Yeah.
but it was PS2 era. That's why I was getting confused. But it's just, but so anyway, what's going on is that one of the developers of the game really wants to make a sequel, and he's been trying to get a sequel going. It's up to Sega to approve it, and this goes back to the shit we've been saying. Like, Sega, you're sitting on so many golden fucking franchises, and you're just letting them just just rot. Basically, it's like people want this shit. How long has it been? 20 fucking years, even more than that, and we haven't even gotten this shit.
Yeah.
Which is interesting,
19 years and a couple of months, but it's about to be 20.
Yeah. So that's what frustrates me. It was like developer wants to make this game, but Sega's like, nah, son. By the way, Sega, where's Virtua Fighter 6? That's all I'm saying about that,
Right. You'd think they'd jump on that with how fighting games have come back with a vengeance. I mean, Mortal Kombat came back, fucking Killer Instinct, all these games, and there's no Virtual Fighter.
Came back. Everything came back. Samurai Showdown came back,
Oh.
Yeah.
If Bloody Roar comes back before Virtua Fighter, I'm going to be pissed, Even though Bloody Roar was awesome, but it's like, come on, man. Okay, so check this out. So this is an update from today, actually, a little bit before we went on air. So basically, the developer, Kenji, his name is, he said that he took all the replies, because obviously people went fucking crazy, like, Skies of Arcadia? Fuck! So he took those and he sent them directly to Sega to let them know how passionate the fans are for a sequel, So hopefully that'll get Sega to actually do something, but I don't know, man. It would be cool, man. Like, actually, what would be cool? A remake of Skies of Arcadia.
Yeah, that game was amazing.
It was a great, man. That was the game that like really, really got me into or not really got me into RPGs. Final Fantasy VII did that, but it's the first RPG I played to completion. It's fucking amazing. That and Grandia 2 were the first ones. The
Dreamcast.
Dreamcast, man.
Yeah, that game. I could not go back to Final Fantasy 9. I tried. I was like, fuck it. I'm in the future now. This game is amazing. I couldn't. It would be like a step down. It's like, it would be like going from fucking Super Mario Brothers 3 and then go play Jungle Hunt on Atari.
Oh, shit.
Like, I can't do it.
Yeah, right. So yeah, basically it was one of the main so this site called Pixel said one of the main developers for Skies of Arcadia is pushing people to ask for Skies of Arcadia to come back, and Kenji Hiruta, who he's one of the producers, he's like, yeah, I strongly agree, let's bring the sequel. But Sega, come on, son, but yeah, that's sad. The GameCube one is the only port we got of this game. Like, are you kidding me? That is like, yo, it's not even on Switch. Come on, Sega. So I had to throw that in there because it was like, come on, that's some nonsense. All right, and then more fun stuff. Chris, this is me and you right now, man. We gotta talk about Doom Eternal, man.
Oh.
Yeah, so a bunch of sites, because the embargo lifted for Doom Eternal. They had a hands-on preview a couple weeks ago, and a bunch of sites put up their impressions. I told this to my editor, Jordan Miner, because he got to play. I'm like, bro, I'm so fucking jealous of you right now, man. Because usually, like, Jordan and I, we both cover games for Geek.com, but we don't really cross the streams very much. He's more of a Nintendo player. I'm more of a like AAA console guy. So it's very rare we have crossovers. But this was one of the locations I'm like, fuck, I wanted to play this, man. But from what I've seen, this game is going to be even crazier than the first one, which is insane because the first one was fucking nuts. Like, apparently, like, the first hour of this game has more like insanity in it than like the entirety of the original Doom 2016.
Oh shit.
Chris, did you see some of the preview stuff?
No, I didn't. I've been looking forward to this forever. I guess the delay was just to polish some of the stuff. I was assuming they were going to add some more multiplayer modes. Because the other one had they had multiplayer in the old one, but it was basically like arena. It's just an arena match, free for all. And I was like, man, I wish they had like a couple more modes, maybe a horde mode where you could play with a buddy or something. But they didn't have that, so maybe again, I'm just wish casting. Maybe they added stuff like that in there.
Yeah, from what I've seen from the previews, I'm reading Jordan's preview here. He doesn't mention anything about multiplayer, so I'm going to assume that's going to come later. I don't think they're going to, because multiplayer was a pretty big aspect of the first one, so I doubt they're going to just remove it for this one. But yeah, he says that you have to be a little bit more strategic with your shots, because in the first one, if you ran out of bullets, you have your infinite ammo pistol. You don't get that in this one, so you kind of have to, be more resource management, use your chainsaw a lot, which I don't think people are going to complain about that, And even based off the promo image, like this dude has a big fucking flaming sword, so using that shit is going to be crazy. And because again, I only read Jordan's preview here, but I've also heard, I'm not gonna confirm this, that there's like a giant fucking mech you could ride. It's like, yo, how crazy is this game gonna get, bro?
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait.
Bethesda needs a win.
Ooh, they really do,
right?
Yeah, they really do, man. Yeah,
this will be it. I mean, they have no love. Like Fallout is just a travesty now. And what was the other thing they were in trouble for? Not Elder Scrolls.
It was hold on. Bethesda Fallout 76. That's the main one, right?
Yeah, I mean that's like the ongoing travesty.
We're still hearing shit about that, Again, just reading off Jordan's preview here. So he says the levels they're larger, but they're still kind of linear, but there's more ways to still get around them. And he says there's a lot of good shooting and platforming. The first one had some decent-ish platforming, so it's kind of good they're expanding on that. There's more demons, obviously, to slay in some of the older ones, but apparently the older ones are a little bit easier this time around. They're kind of just served as, like, cannon fodder, so you could, like, get ammo and shit off of them, which is fine, They got the Kako demons and all that other shit. Ooh, he says he played at 4K, 60 frames a second on a high-end PC. Excuse me?
Was it butter?
It must have been, but I could, man.
Nice.
Yo, you think this game's gonna get delayed to come out for next gen too? Like every other fucking game on Earth, Jesus, man. Oh, and Chris,
I don't know, man.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
No, yeah, I think they could port it anytime. Or if we have complete forwards compatibility, what do they need to do? Just add some tweaks so it optimizes for Series X and PS5. But just launch it now. I want to play that shit.
And there's also like a hub world in there that you get to visit and shit, which is kind of cool. And just like the original Doom 2, you go to Earth in this game. You fight some hell on Earth, which is pretty cool.
Nice.
Oh shit, it's actually coming out. I didn't realize this. Doom Eternal is coming out for the Switch. Okay, let's see how that works, I mean, the first one ran on Switch. It was only 30 frames a second, but it ran on it, But then again, that makes you wonder, do you think this game may have been held back so it could be on Switch?
Oh, well, it's not launching at the same time.
No, it's not.
Switch version. Yeah, so I don't think that's the case. I think they may have had other issues. Usually when it's short delays like that, it's some networking issue or multiplayer or something, or some game-breaking stuff. I don't think it was like, oh, we have to have this port going, so you have this concurrent development. I don't think it would delay it.
Yeah, so hopefully not. But actually, no, the game's coming out in March 20th. Oh man, bro, that's 2 months from now. I can't fucking wait. That's gonna be insane. So there you go. Doom is coming, people. Doom is coming. I need to get my hands on that fucking game. Go ahead, bro.
Can I throw a little tangent?
Of course you can. We got time to fill tonight, baby. We ain't got we ain't got Adam or Brett in here to fluff the show up. Yo, bro, duty. All right.
Is it just me? So
yo, I'm gonna spit up my drink, motherfucker.
So Doom Eternal is coming out in March, right?
Yeah, March 20th.
What the hell is coming out in between?
Nothing. Everything got delayed, man.
Yo, man.
We got shit.
I feel like I saw, like, we did our year-end, like, what was it? The PlayStation 2019, like, year totals and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I need to play more video games. I'm like, okay, what's coming out for 2020? And I'm like, everything's getting delayed.
Man, you know what? Since we're gonna fill up some time here, let's actually look up what games are coming out this year, because, like you said, everything's been delayed now.
It's crazy, man. I was
like-
I was looking for.
Oh, what, Square has delayed what, 2 games? 2 big games?
Yeah,
So
pretty
Final
much
Fantasy and-
yeah.
Final
And-
Fantasy 7.
And Avengers, right? Is that them?
Yeah, that's Square
Avengers,
Enix.
Yeah, that's 2
Yeah.
big games. I mean, Avengers is like months delayed.
Yeah, dude.
September?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yo, I'm looking at February's games. What a fucking wasteland.
Oh.
There's nothing coming out. Like all the shit I'm seeing right now is just a bunch of like re-releases and remakes and shit. You know?
You know what's crazy? It's about to be February.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I swore fucking New Year's was like 2 days ago.
Yeah. Hey, you know, when you get older, time compresses, man. That's what happens. You know.
Man.
And college, you're not even in your 30s yet, are you?
Oh, yeah, I'm 30.
Oh shit. Okay, see,
Well,
it's already happening, man. It's already
It
happening.
has begun.
It has begun.
To be fair, though, I started noticing that time compression thing like in my early 20s. I'm like, why is time getting faster? You know, because remember when you were a kid, like when you were like 11 years old, when you were on summer vacation, that shit lasted 50 years.
Bro, summer vacations lasted fucking decades.
That
shit
did.
I would wake up at 8 in the morning and go to a friend's house and feel like we played for a whole day's worth just to go to fucking lunch. Go back home to eat lunch.
You know, and then one day,
Yo, man.
you know, when you're older, you know, you get up and in the morning, you look out the window. It's like, oh, you know, it's winter, right? You go take a piss, you come out, it's already spring. It's like, what the fuck? What happened?
What?
You know, it's nuts, but yeah, yo, look at all these fucking games. Wow, it's a bunch of Switch ports coming out that month.
Damn.
Hey, Brian, man, get Metro Redux on Switch, bro.
Oh, dude, Brian.
I already have them on PC, so I don't see the Switch thing. But it's kind of cool.
But
that
it's
they did
portable, Brian.
It's portable, Brian.
that. Yeah, but I played them, and Metro games look really good when they look really good, and it's the Switch. It's like playing them on consoles. Like, why would I do that? Like, why would I play? No, the Metro games look really, really good for what they are. Like, seriously, like if you've seen them, you're like, wow, like this is like a game made by like 15 people. Like, the fuck, it looks amazing. So
Yeah.
I don't know. And plus, on the Switch, I'm looking to play Ori and the Blind Forest. So why do I care?
Wait. Oh, okay. In the Blind Forest, I was like
Yeah.
thinking about Ori and the Will and the Wisp.
Yeah.
When is that
Yeah.
game coming out?
That's this year too. That game, talk about a game that's been delayed. I played a preview of that like 2 years ago at E3. And I thought it was fair. I thought it was supposed to come out that year, 2018. You know,
Man, damn. You know, I'm happy that like, we've all talked about this. Like, we're all kind of forgiving for them delaying it because we want them to release, a finished product.
yeah,
But damn, it sucks when every fucking game is getting delayed.
bro. You know me. I'm giving to a little bit of hyperbole on this show just to make things entertaining. I am not making this up. There is nothing coming out in February worthwhile.
Time to go to that backlog. Oh yeah.
Christ.
Man, are you saying I'm gonna have to fucking play Death Stranding?
Yes,
Yeah, you
are.
might have to.
You should.
Yeah, the only like highlight I see here, and there's a
I bet you
remake.
finish it before me.
Yeah, Bayonetta and Vanquish 10th anniversary bundle coming to PS4 and Xbox. But as again, I beat those.
Is that a physical release? No, right?
Who knows? Who knows? Street
I mean,
Fighter
I
5.
haven't-
Yeah,
I'd be willing to
I
pick
thought
it
it was
up.
physical because I've seen the box art.
yeah. Okay, so it's got to be physical then. Physical.
Maybe I'll think about that. I'd love to play Vanquish again, and I never played
Yeah.
Bayonetta.
What a fucking wasteland, bro.
Yo, man, is those games running at 60 frames per second?
Oh, they
You
better.
remember all the issues that it had on PlayStation 3?
Yeah.
2 games?
Oh, man, March ain't looking that good either.
Oh,
There's some. At least there's more games in March, but like I'll just name the highlights that I see here: Ori and the Will of the Wisp. Neo 2. There you go. There you go. There you go.
Ori allegedly, man, because
Oh yeah, that is true. Does,
hope, but-
Yeah. Does Pokemon Mystery Dungeon count?
let's get that shit out of here, man.
Yeah. Carlos, here you go, man. Fairy Tale, man.
Oh, come on, man.
What?
You know you want to play that.
Yo, I'm not a big fan. Riku sent me a message. He's like, "Yo, man, they're releasing a Captain Tsubasa game, which is a soccer anime," and I'm like, "Bandai Namco's making it."
Oh,
They're
the microtransactions.
yeah, like Bandai Namco when they release their anime games, they're like the equivalent of what those movie tie-in games you were back in the day.
Oh yeah, right. Remember those things?
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, they're not too bad, but they're not nothing to get excited about.
Yeah. All right. We got Doom Eternal coming out in March, and Doom 64 is coming out that day too.
Which is weird.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah.
I believe it's
Brian, didn't you say that was like a pre-order? Somebody said it was a pre-order thing.
I have no idea. Maybe it was.
I have no idea. It looks like Neo 2. That's going to be a big one. MLB The Show. I think that's the last one before it goes multi-plat. I believe.
Damn,
man. Remember when the ponies got upset over that shit?
Man,
and it's like, yo, you motherfuckers ain't even playing MLB The Show. Get the fuck out of here, man.
Sony wants to make some fucking money. That's what what that is.
Oh, check this out. Bleeding Edge, the Ninja Theory beat 'em up game is coming out that month. The multiplayer.
I forgot about that game.
Yeah, the one that there was like, what?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because Ninja Theory's like what? Like they have like 3 games in the works at the same time.
Yeah. Ooh,
It's funny. I'm surprised that this game isn't about some sort of mental disorder. I'm sorry.
Oh
yeah,
that's I know that they're really trying to. I really appreciate that they're really trying to take an active role and trying to make games that explore mental stuff like that. But it just seemed like it was a theme that they're sort of running with now.
Yeah, it's like another one, man.
Yeah, I mean, granted, there are a lot of mental disorders and all kinds of different things, and I really appreciate that stuff, but it just seems like a theme. I'm like, why didn't this one have it?
Yeah, the game, perfect segue, by the way, that you're talking about is called Project Morrow, and it looks like they even have the, actress that played What's-Her-Face?
Senua,
yeah. That's kind of interesting, but we don't really know what this game's about.
They say it's a horror game.
Yeah.
But it's like... It's a horror game within someone's mind.
Yeah, so it's a mental terror.
Mental terror. So it's essentially trying to explore the idea of, people, a person who have different psychosis, who hear voices in their heads and see things, and trying to give us. I think it might be a VR game. Also trying to give that sort of feel to the game.
Yeah. I have a kind of theory about this, right? Because they said that, Sunny was sacrificed. They touched on these subjects, but this one does it in a more kind of authentic way / real, I'm just quoting here, real lived experience account, real lived, what the fuck? I can't even read that. Real lived experience accounts and in-depth search. So again, this is my theory. I think since they did so much research into mental illnesses and stuff, they're like, hey, why don't we do a game on it, exclusively on it? So that kind of makes sense,
I think for Senua, they were trying to get it to a point where it's like they're trying to blend the line of is she insane or is she actually seeing these things? But I feel like the new game, that one is gonna probably tilt a little bit more mythological with it all. You know what I mean? You see giants in there.
Yeah, but so it seems like with this one, it's like they're gonna take their experiences or knowledge that they've gained, making Senua sacrificing, is making a really authentic,
representation of it.
Yeah, without the monsters and giants and shit,
Yeah.
And the graphically, this Ninja Theory, you already know, man.
Yeah, they're probably using Unreal Engine, right? They're using Unreal Engine with Senua Sacrifice, so they know that engine, man. So.
Yeah, has this been confirmed that they're using Unreal Engine with this game?
They haven't said it, but they usually use Unreal Engine.
Yeah, they do.
Back in the day when they did what was that game?
Devil May Cry?
No, not Devil May Cry. There was
that Journey game?
The Journey to the West game, right?
Enslaved.
Yeah.
That was when they were in that sort of push where they said that they could use Unreal Engine to create movie quality sort of animation.
Yeah.
Where they were trying to explore that sort of thing.
Yeah, the reason I brought up Devil May Cry is because when they did their Devil May Cry for Capcom wanted them to use MT Framework, right, which is the main engine at the time, and they were like, "No, we're sticking. We're using Unreal." So that's
they
good.
know Unreal. They know. I mean, unless I don't think Microsoft doesn't seem like they have issues with their studios using engines from other companies. I mean, doesn't Gears of War still run on Unreal?
But don't quote me on that, but I believe it does.
I would think so.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. You know what should go back to being on Unreal, right? Mass Effect.
Mass Effect.
It needs to go
Oh
back.
man,
I'm gonna
did they
say,
put it on Frostbite? Is that what it was running on?
Yeah. Mass Effect
Yeah.
Andromeda was on Frostbite, and you saw the results.
you know, the one thing about it, it's like, you know, Unreal stuff has looked in this last generation has looked amazing. Like just the sheer amount of different style games that were coming out. You know, you have a game like Kingdom Hearts on there, and then what was it? There was another one. You know, Senua's Sacrifice was on there. A bunch of different
Dragon Quest 11, Dragon Ball Z, Kakarot, like all these things
like
are using
all these
it.
games that are kind of like different sort of styles are actually coming out there, and they look amazing looking.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, the Dragon Ball Z Fighters is also Unreal 4.
Is it? Oh yeah, it is. It is, isn't it? Yeah, Unreal 4 is pretty versatile. Yeah, because remember Unreal 3 back on last generation, like you could tell it was an Unreal Engine 3 game instantly. You know.
Well, I mean, it had a look to their effects, you know, and their shaders and stuff like that. But I think nowadays that they have because it's so versatile that they're able to kind of, you don't need to use all those funky shaders and stuff to get something to look good. But even then, Unreal just has because also Unreal's free, by the way.
Yes.
For anybody who wants to do it right now, develop any games, you can do it for free, and it doesn't take that much to make something look really nice.
Yeah, but even with those like highly stylized games like Dragon Quest and Dragon Ball, which is funny because they both have Akira Toriyama art, there are always those little instances where you look at the background, it's like that looks like Unreal. Like you could just tell. Kingdom Hearts also had that too. It's like it looks very stylized up, but there's always those little moments where like Unreal, I see you. I see you over there, man. You hiding.
They got that stuff to look really a lot like CGI.
Yeah,
they got that thing really nice looking.
Which is pretty dope. So yeah, we'll learn more about Project Morrow. I'm gonna assume that's not gonna be the final name of it. So yeah, I'm glad you brought this up because it's like, so these guys, they're developing Senua's Saga, right? Mm-hmm. Senua's Saga, yep. Bleeding Edge, Project Morrow, and another one, Project Insight. So it's like they got 4 games.
Yeah,
like Ninja Theory putting in work.
They're also going with the other idea, which was from Senua's Sacrifice, is the fact that they are making games with smaller teams.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what's going on.
Senua's Sacrifice, I heard, only really had like 50 people on it.
Yeah, and that's what that's what this article is from Engadget is saying, that basically since they're still a small team, they're allowed to break up into even smaller teams and then really just focus on something specifically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but, I mean, to be honest, they know Unreal Engine like the back of their hand. So now it's about creating. During Senua's Sacrifice, they created all these different things to sort of help essentially assist in creating a game. Now the question is, how long will these things take?
Yeah.
Senua's Sacrifice, that's a good, probably about 3 years on that one.
Something like that, yeah.
3 or 4 years, I want to say. Something like that. Because I know that they did that trailer on the Game Awards the first time. Remember?
Yeah,
it was that one where everybody thought it was Hellblade. It looked like, not Hellblade, it looked like Nariko.
That's which is also another Ninja Theory game. Heavenly Sword. It looked like Heavenly Sword. That was not Unreal Engine though. That was I think it was.
Oh no, that was just CG stuff.
Yeah, but
the Hellblade.
Heavenly Sword did not run on.
I think that was also Unreal as well.
Are you sure about that? I thought it was running on something else. We could verify that.
By the way,
I believe Enslaved was the first one that they used. Go ahead, Carlos.
Hellblade was announced for the PlayStation 4 at the Sony's Gamescom media briefing August 12, 2014.
Oh, there you go.
And the game released in 2017. So yeah, 3 years since the announcement until it came out. So however long it was developed for before the announcement, who knows?
All right, I'm gonna look into this on my own time.
I'm looking at it right now, so you can probably.
Oh, it's at Havoc. Was it running? No, it's not running on Havoc Fix. That's just a middleware thing.
Yeah, it's a middleware thing.
And we'll look at it on our own time. Mm-hmm. But shit, losing my track here. Oh yeah, so remember how even some of us were a little upset when Bleeding Edge was announced because we think of Ninja Theory as this kind of like more narrative driven type of studio. You know, they do those type of experience. So, you know, a lot of people, including myself, saw that they were doing a multiplayer game. It's like, oh man, that's what they got you guys doing. But now that they have these 3 other games, like, yeah, go ahead, do a multiplayer game. You know what I'm saying? Go right the fuck ahead, because that, you know, that shows the versatility of these guys.
And Microsoft is bankrolling them.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. And you know Microsoft wants that multiplayer. You know,
and to be honest, it's like they're creating sort of these sort of middle tier sort of games that are probably not as long. You know.
Yeah, limited amount of people working on each one of them. So,
hey man, I'm getting sidetracked. Finish off. Just real quick. Havoc Complete is what they use for Heavenly Sword. It's a combination of Havoc physics and Havoc animation.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's an interesting combination.
Yo, man, why didn't Nintendo put Havoc Complete as their list of developers working on Switch titles?
You know, yeah, because I remember that when not Heavenly Sword, Enslaved was announced. They said, you know, they asked them like, why did you go with Unreal Engine? They're like, because it's easier to develop for. As simple as that, you know. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, 4 games from this one studio. That's pretty good. I think Microsoft's definitely going to get their money's worth with these guys.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be a lot of cool.
Now, Tim Schafer, what you working on?
I was about to say that. I was like, way better investment than Double Fine.
Excuse me.
Oh shit.
Yo, man, they're still working on that. Psychonauts. Psychonauts is a multi-plat.
Yo, I keep forgetting about that fucking game, man.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
They better get that shit out before. I mean, to be honest, it's like that game should be kind of done now, especially when they tried to do that little tried to do the little that other sort of Kickstarter thing for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's interesting, man. All right, so let's move on to this. These kind of stories always suck to report on, but we got to do it. So, Playful Studios, the developer of Super Lucky's Tale and Star Child, they've had massive layoffs.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, that's bad. I'm reading this off of PlayStation Lifestyle. A large portion of Playful Studios' full-time staff has been let go. The developer stated that the reason behind this is because of the continued changes in the global video games marketplace. It goes on to say that the studio is going to be changing how it develops its games with focus on a more streamlined production model based on distributed game development and dynamic project-based teams. The unfortunate result of such a decision is that a large portion of the full-time staff has been let go effectively immediately. Fuck. You know?
That sucks. I mean, that all that means is that when they say distributed development and dynamic project team, they're going to outsource everything to contract and freelance programmers.
Oh man,
that's what that means.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I mean the studio's still going to be around, but it's effectively been gutted. You know, if you really think about it, all the people that were there. I don't know how long the studio's been around. Just being honest, was it because this game was originally like a Connect game, wasn't it? Super Lucky's Tale.
I think it was a VR game, right? No?
Yes, it was originally something else, and now it became like a platforming game. It was always a platforming game, but
yeah, that sucks, man.
That blows. So yeah, you're right. Yeah, it was going to be a VR game, which is kind of crazy, but good luck to everybody. Hopefully they'll land on their feet, find some new jobs, and stinks.
I'll have to give credit to Randy Pitchford. He reached out to people and was offering them jobs.
Okay,
like Gearbox. Good. Yeah.
Gosh, okay, shout out. Hey, that's some good news for Randy Pitchford. He's been having bad news lately, So that guy definitely needs a PR bump, All right, let me look at the chat here. What's going on? Oh, damn, you guys are going in on the chat. I haven't been looking at it.
Yeah.
Damn. All right, I'm reading some of this shit right now. Okay, GZDR4 says, Ninja Theory told us part of the proceeds from Hellblade would go towards the treatment of mental health. Now it seems they are being exploitive. I don't know. How are they being exploitive, bro? Their next 2 games are about mental breakdowns. Why? How is that being exploitive, though?
They said the for Hellblade it went toward the mental. Some of the proceeds went over to the mental research and all that stuff. In fact, one of their projects is to further mental research, and one of those projects is to further that sort of research.
Yeah,
but the other one, the last thing that they said, wasn't a game. They didn't say it was a game. They didn't. It was a project.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, just because they're making 2 games or 1 game and 1 project type of game or whatever it's going to be, doesn't mean they're being exploitive. I think they're just trying to get the word out there, which is actually admirable if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty interesting there. They're building a streaming service. What I don't get is why a dev partner with them to continue to give away their hardware for $1. Oh man, he's talking about Xbox Game Pass.
Well, to be honest, it's an investment like Netflix. Why have Robert De Niro and what's the director's name?
Scorsese.
Martin Scorsese make a film for Netflix. If you're only selling Netflix for how much is it a month? $19, $18?
Like it's like $8 for the standard, $8 or $9 for the standard one, like $13, $14 for the.
Yeah. So
Super
why?
one.
Yeah. So why make that in sort of investment? Because they're looking, because the more people that subscribe, it builds, what is it? It builds a better relation with the customer. It's like, oh, hey, look, it brings on more people and more people subscribe. If you have more people subscribing, that means that you'll get more people on it. We're not,
Yeah, it's
go ahead.
no, it's like
Good
it's
faith.
like
That's what we call it.
yeah, there's a catalog of games or movies or wherever your service does that people rely on, and what they might pay, like nickels at the beginning, but Netflix, since I've had Netflix for almost a decade now, I think, and it's been going up in price significantly since I first had it, since it was just DVDs.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going up in price because they have more movies, they have the streaming, they have 4K and all the other stuff, the Irishman and Bird Box and all those other stuff and The Witcher. So it's like with now that they say, okay, we're going to raise the price, I'm like, well, I still think it's worth it, so I'm going to keep paying. And that's the same thing with Game Pass.
And it's also, you think about a situation like Spotify as well. Like, you
Yeah.
say to yourself, hey, why are all these music artists putting all their music on Spotify? They're not making, if you don't have a good, it's a well-known fact that if you don't have a good deal with Spotify, you're not going to make a lot of money. It's because Spotify is willing to pay, with a lot of the artists, they're willing to pay these artists to show up and then to get more people to subscribe.
Yeah.
Because in the end, they're essentially making a guaranteed X amount of money per month, as opposed to like, hey, you buy that one album and you didn't like you get that a band releases one album and you don't really like it, so oh well.
Yeah. Okay. There's some interesting stuff going on in the chat right now. Let me read some of this. So, Goose7 says people still don't get the business model that Microsoft is trying to build up. GZDR follows with, they are building a streaming service. What I don't get is why would a developer partner with them if they continue to give away their hardware for $1? I bought an Xbox S 2 Decembers ago and have yet to pay more than $1 per month, and I've played Gears 4, 5, Metro, Tomb Raider, and many other games. Goose7 follows up with, any studio going to Microsoft makes sense. Microsoft will give them the freedom to create any experience because it isn't contingent on selling X amount of copies to be successful. The dollar statement is intellectually dishonest. Sure, it's $1 for trial, but after that, you pay $10 a month or $15 for Game Pass Ultimate. So yeah, Microsoft it's not just $1 per month, people. That's just to get you in the door, And then GZR says, yeah, that's freedom if you don't share in the profits. I don't know about that, man.
I mean, how do you know that they're not sharing the profits?
They have to be making money,
Yeah, they're not getting these guys on there because of good faith. They're paying them money to do this. They're just making the initial investment. It's almost like a lot of industries where you'll have like your company, they make that initial investment, and then anything after that is what keeps things afloat is the sales of the game or whatever it is. So I think in a situation where like Ninja Theory, where they're probably not spending nearly as much on these games as they would a normal AAA game, but they're putting out AAA quality stuff. I think in general, it'll those sorts of things is what is more of what Microsoft is looking for.
Yeah, exactly.
People, just to get people in the door, build good faith. Like, hey, Microsoft, xCloud or whatever you want to call it makes has good games on there for a decent price.
Yeah, this is a good comment right here from Goose7. He goes, being an indie developer is not easy. They sold out, quote unquote, for security, and I don't know what the internal agreements are for payouts to developers that Microsoft has with them, if any, so I won't comment on that. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. And, GZR says, like, they're selling the games for $1. They're not selling them for 60, so they're losing money. It's not that simple, man. It's not that simple. It's not. Chris, you explained how all that works before. Can you elaborate on that?
What exactly?
Like basically, just because you sell a game for $60 doesn't mean your studio is automatically going to make $60 off of it.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, you have all sorts of upfront costs. Like you have income, but you have outlay, right? Besides sales and marketing and soft dollars, you have to pay developers, you have to pay your staff, you have to have real estate, which is like you have a place to put your staff. You pay electricity, you pay fees, you pay taxes. So I mean that $60 is not pure profit, right? It goes back into the company and has to do certain things. So they have to make a margin off of that to be successful. So the money you put into the game, all the development costs, hire all the musicians, all the artists, all the time you paid people, all your time you paid your marketing people, all the time you paid television to show ads or magazines or whatever, or YouTube. All that cost has to be accounted for when you finally turn the profit around. And that's the thing investors want to know. So Microsoft owning owning Ninja Theory now is also a major investor. They can give them resources and money, but they have to have a guarantee like, hey, we think this is going to sell X amount of copies and whatever, and we'll make this much profit margin based on this much expenditure and this many people working on it, whatever. So it becomes very mathematical on from an investor standpoint, because if Microsoft didn't see that, they would never have purchased them. They didn't see potential in sales and profit.
Yeah, because think about it like this, right? Here's the thing. You can't think about these things in the old fashioned. It's like, okay, you sell X amount of copies to get X amount of money. It's more about subscriptions, because if Ninja Theory puts out a bunch of dope games, what are people going to do? They're going to subscribe to the service and keep getting those games. And in turn, they're going to play other games that you're going to tell, they're going to make their friends, want to play these things. So it's kind of like a word of mouth too in that sense. So you can't think about it like that. And then obviously, if Microsoft makes more money, they're going to pay their studios, Ninja Theory in this case, more money too. You got to think about it like that. You can't really think about the old model anymore. It doesn't work like that, at least when it comes to these subscription services. Obviously Sony's still, but even Sony has their subscriptions going on too. Everybody's making money off that. So you can't just base it solely on game sales. And like Chris just explained, just because you sell a $60 game doesn't make you're going to make $60. It doesn't work like that.
The other thing about it is that you find that when you put certain titles on there, people are more inclined to actually try them out.
That's what I'm saying.
Like if it's a Podunk Nowhere indie game, a lot of times people who have never heard of it won't actually try it. But you'd be more inclined to try those sorts of games along with a lot of the AAA games, because it's there. It's kind of like watching bad movies on Netflix. So not everything on Netflix is amazing movie, and not everything on Netflix is something you've actually heard of, but they might actually be a really good movie.
Yeah, that's right. So it's a good way for people to try all these things out.
The only thing about it is it somewhat makes the content disposable.
Yeah, it does. You don't really have any appreciation for it if you could just pick it up. You know what I'm saying?
Pick it up, throw it away, and
Yeah, that's a danger, but I think overall it's actually pretty good. Again, for me, I've said this before, I don't really need Game Pass because I don't really, if I'm not reviewing it, I'm not playing it. But if you're like a regular gamer and stuff, $10 a month for unlimited games, it's pretty fucking good, And then $15 and you get all this other shit too. That's a fucking good deal, man. That's a really good deal. All right, yeah. One more thing here from Goose7, then we'll move on. That's why there is always a struggle between developers and publishers, because the publisher is investing X amount of dollars when they're going to make demands of what the game should include to entice more people. With Game Pass, theoretically, you won't have that struggle because the success of the game isn't dependent on selling X amount of copies. The success is measured on how many people it brings to the service. Exactly, bro. That's exactly what I just said. You know, and GZR, I know in your situation you kind of find like a loop, you know, so that keeps enabling you to pay $1 a month, but you're kind of the exception to the rule. Most people pay $10, $15 for this thing, you know. So it's not like how many subscribers? Actually, I don't know how many subscribers they have on Xbox Game Pass, but you can't just assume all of them are only paying $1. You know, most people, you know, the reason streaming services, I'm talking about all streaming services, they work is because people like Ron Popeil, right? Set it and forget it. You know, you pay for that first month, and then when the next month's payments start getting taken out of your bank account, you're not even paying attention, you know? I mean, you know how many years I gave money to Netflix and what I even using the service? I was like, you know, whatever. Shit, I'm giving money to Xbox right now. I don't even play those fucking games.
Xbox Live?
Xbox Live, yeah, I give them $10 every month. Here's the thing, I could easily like go in there and just shut it off like I've done before, but I'm like, whatever.
Yeah, man, keep the lights on.
Yeah, right. You know, hey man, gotta give some to the needy, right? Oh,
you gotta have some.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's move on to the next story. We try to avoid politics on this show, right? Because that's not what we're about here. But if we get to roast one of these assholes, like, and it's related to gaming, we're going to do it, you know? I do want to make a caveat. Originally, we were going to have some video clips that accompany this thing, but after watching the video, or excuse me, trying to watch the clip myself, because I only saw the first five seconds, like, yeah, that shows how creepy this guy is. When I saw like 30 seconds, like, no. So anyway, we're talking about Joe Biden here. You guys already know he's a fucking creepy, you know, I was going to say something else, but I'm not going to say, but basically, so he came out earlier this week, I believe it was, and said that game developers are, you know, a bunch of creeps that peddle violence to minors. Like, word? That's pretty funny coming from a guy who, you know, fondles little girls and shit publicly, you know? Like, yeah, it's like, come on, bro, you're the last one to be saying that shit. So he says that a video game developer is they're little creeps and they teach you how to kill. Come on, son. Really? And the crazy go ahead, bro.
It's just like all of these, you know, nobody get offended. Boomer politicians that have, you know, they can't, you know, that always have to point their fingers to the deadly video games and blame video games for people being, you know, bad parents or putting any type of responsibility to anybody other than you know.
It's funny because, you know, you ever notice how like certain people like to, because there's no lobby groups like there are like a certain gun toting group, you notice that they don't say anything about those guys. It always becomes back to video games. Yeah, when we had all those school shootings, what was happening? They automatically the president and everybody else starts pointing at video games, because the minute they start pointing at the other thing, the actual thing that caused the death, that's when somebody says no, you can't do that, and then they're like, oh, we're gonna take away your money or whatever the fuck they do.
We need video game lobbyists, man.
Yeah,
we need video game lobbyists.
Somebody who needs to, because apparently they need to start playing the fucking game now. You know, start greasing the palms of all the dirty politicians that fucking sit in those seats.
Yeah. By the way, Carlos, don't worry about making fun of boomers. I don't think we have any of those in our audience. You know, they're all sleeping. They're all sleeping right now. You know.
Grandma's sleeping right now.
Grandma's sleeping right now.
It's sad that it always has to go that way. The teaching video games that teach kids how to kill.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's so predictable. Anytime these things happen, always fall back to the game. It's been like that for like how many decades out has been going on? Like
since Columbine.
Yeah, since Columbine. But even before that, you remember fucking what's the name of that fucking idiot? Joe Lieberman.
Oh,
right?
Jack Thompson.
Yeah, Jack Thompson, Joe Lieberman, all these fucking idiots.
The Mortal Kombat, trials.
Hillary Clinton too was also picking on the easy scapegoat, which is video games.
Yeah,
where she said something in the media which was the stupidest thing ever. There should be a rating system for video games. Oh, honey, there is a rating system.
Yeah. It's like, come on, that's the thing. These guys, they say all this shit, and it's like you don't even know what you're talking about. That's a great example. It's like video games need ratings. Like they've had ratings since the early '90s. You dumbass.
Exactly. And then the other thing, it's like, okay, so he he makes this comment. You know what the real comment should be? Video games that that take advantage of weak-minded people and children. That's the shit that he should be fucking talking about, not about fucking games teaching people to shoot. Games essentially putting people in the fucking poorhouse because they're abusing people. That's what he should be talking about it, but he's a fucking idiot and doesn't know anything about the content that he's even talking about.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure one of his interns, probably a young girl, this is Joe Biden we're talking about, brought this to like, hey, this is going on with games. I'm going to say something about it now.
It's not, that's not the thing that we should be worrying about at games. We should be worrying about abusive practices, taking advantage of children.
Yeah, can we just stop skirting around the issue? Microtransactions. We're talking about microtransactions here.
Microtransactions, and what of it? Loot boxes. The word of the day. That's the shit that he should be talking.
I'm glad the gaming industry kind of, or at least fans collectively said, nope, fuck this shit. And that's how we pretty much got them to stop. But again, what did it take to stop that? Because that microtransactions, loot boxes, that shit's been rampant in the mobile stage forever. It took a Star Wars game to people open their eyes,
To open their eyes.
Yeah, fuck it, I'm just go off a little bit. If you guys know me, surprise, surprise, I'm not a big government guy. I'm not into that. But at the same time, like, I understood why you had to have these people, the government step in to kind of start, maybe not regulating, but at least putting their foot down when it came to microtransactions, because that shit is fucked up and a lot of people cannot control themselves. Obviously, people should be able to control themselves, but in this case, I don't endorse it because I still think government should stay the fuck away from games, but I understood why they had to do it. But, going back to what you said, Manny, why aren't you focusing your, ire on that instead of, violence in video games? He's probably going to talk about, did you hear about this game called Grand Theft Auto where you could shoot hookers? This is blasphemous. Like 30 years late.
This is preposterous.
Yeah. It shows you how much these people know about anything.
They're fucking idiot. Most politicians are fucking idiots.
Well, because it's the somebody talks to them like, did you hear about this? No. What? You're telling me there's game? Oh yeah, there's also movies that shoot each other too.
Yeah, right.
But the thing is that we can't. There is no correlation. There's been plenty
correlation.
of correlation between violence and video games, but there has been this between guns.
Yep.
What's amazing to me is
and how easy they are to get.
He's insulting all of Silicon Valley, all of gamers, game development, all that stuff. It's like you realize you're trying to win an election, right?
Uh-huh.
You want to alienate literally the ages between 18 and 40 who would vote for you and attack video games. When if you were talking about the central problem, you would be talking about guns. But you didn't do that. You just decided to character assassinate game developers in general. Like that was going to win you any points with anyone.
Well, it just shows you how out of touch he specifically is, and how out of touch our current president is with the way things are currently.
What's the last game this motherfucker's played?
I'm sure he thinks it's.
He played kick the can down the road? What is he, like 110?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey Joe, why don't you go play in a pool, bro, with your black friends?
Oh man, creepy.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I probably think the only reason why Barack Obama had him around is his comic relief.
Oh yeah, pretty much,
Because that guy's not fucking fit to be any friggin' president.
And Carlos said this before the show. It's like, how scary would it be if this guy does become president? Right?
From one nut to another. Fuck, what's going on here?
Oh my god. Let me read some of these comments here. Solitary Zombie Kristen says they won't touch the game industry. It's too big now, not like back in the day. Gaming industry is actually bigger than movies and all that other shit.
Right, but they look for an easy scapegoat.
Yeah,
it's creating theater, so he attacks video games. Right, he can't. It's too difficult for him to go after guns or talk about the topics in general. But it's just like Back in the 80s when they dragged all the metal guys in because
Yeah,
like,
right.
oh, your music causes suicide, we have to, but it's the music industry. You're not going to do anything to these guys. So it's
Exactly.
fucking
Or-
stupid.
or
It's just
the
for
rap-
show.
Oh, the rap industry in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know why it's so easy for these people to shit on the video game industry? There's no real celebrities in the video game industry.
No,
Yo,
Like,
man, get Hideo Kojima out there, man.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest figures of the game industry is Kojima, and no one's gonna know who. Like, we already talked about it, like how no one knows who Kojima is other than fucking hardcore gamers.
Gamers, yeah. Like, who's this Japanese guy commenting on American politics?
Yeah.
You know?
Either him or David Jaffe.
Oh God.
You're responding to Joe on a fucking live stream. Yo, man, we need to send our best.
Yo,
Yeah,
for
send
real.
your best. He's the Joe Biden of the video game industry.
Oh,
Yeah.
But at least,
man.
Yeah.
but at least he's made competent games.
Yeah,
yeah.
at least he knows what a video game is.
Unlike whatever Joe does.
He doesn't do anything, you know. By the way, yeah, the chat is appropriately roasting Joe Biden right now. Good for you guys.
He's got he's like those the manatees that have idea balls from South Park. Remember how they create episodes of Family Guy?
The idea balls.
yeah.
Shit. He's right. Our industry doesn't have any rock stars that the mainstream would recognize. Yeah, right. Nobody knows who Jeff Keighley is. You know.
Nobody knows who Jeff Keighley is. Nobody knows who any of these names are. But the thing about it,
Oh God. Oh no. I know who could be the ambassador. Oh God.
Don't say
Oh,
it.
can we?
You know who I'm
No,
gonna
I
say.
know where you. Oh man.
who?
No, Tony.
It's Ninja.
Ninja. Yeah, I do.
Oh.
He's at number one. He's at the top of the.
He is.
Yeah,
he
I haven't seen Hideo Kojima on Ellen DeGeneres. You know.
Okay, I think you can say like someone else, like another number one.
Oh.
Oh,
A
Voldemort.
guy that's no stranger. What?
Oh no,
No,
it's not
a guy
Voldemort.
that's no stranger to danger.
No, not him.
Oh.
Shout out to hip hop, man. PewDiePie, nah.
No, PewDiePie.
No,
is
you know.
PewDiePie at this point in time is a bit of a controversial figure.
Yeah.
Oh, yo, I know who the Donald
the
Trump
game
of the
inventor?
video game industry is, and I'm not gonna say it here.
Okay. Oh God. I guess that's off air.
It's that bad.
Wow.
Honestly, it is that bad.
Oh, uh-oh.
Oh my God. They call it Crazy Joe. Yes, he is crazy.
He's Crazy Joe.
He's
He's the crazy uncle. That's what he is.
Again, not to get too political. I just find it funny how Democrats, liberals are supposed to be like these free whatever people, yet they're always the ones that want to bring shit down. In the 80s, Tipper Gore, with metal, and now Joe Lieberman, Joe Biden, Jack Thompson. Pretty interesting, All right.
I mean, it's an interesting idea. But
Stay
again,
tuned on the next episode of Throwdown Politics.
Yeah, right.
Again, our president also said the same thing when a certain
Trump did say that too. He did say that games need ratings.
and
It's like,
he's-
bro.
And then he's like, yeah, they have studies. We've run studies, and games are dangerous. He put all this money into researching games.
I got a great idea.
You got a great idea.
We need to build a wall between the gamers, the children, and the video games.
Now, how about you build a wall between Joe Biden and the little girls? I think you should do that instead. Pervert. All right, let's move on here. Okay, story time.
What's the story?
All right, yeah, because we always like to give you some stories here when we attend cool events. So I went to the New York Video Game Awards, which was hosted by the New York Video Games Critics Circle. I am a video game journalist from New York, so I was invited. So basically, they had it at the SVA Theater, Manny's alma mater from back in the day.
My old thing. But in fact, at the time that I went to SVA, that theater wasn't there. They didn't buy it until maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, something like that.
So for this show, the big highlight was that they had Reggie Fils-Aimé on in there because he was winning their Lifetime Achievement Award and stuff. And it was fun, man. I had a good time there. I was hanging out with Danny Pena, who we shouted out earlier during the show, Gamertag Radio episode 1000, Phil Spencer, baby.
Spence?
So, yeah, we were there, and it was an open bar, so you already know what happened.
Dominicano.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but they had like kind of shitty beer.
They had Plátano Patrol.
Yeah, Plátano. They didn't have Presidentes though. They just had. They had Pat's Blue Ribbon. That's what they had.
Oh my god!
But it's beer and it was warm too. But fuck it, we're drinking it.
Pat's Blue Ribbon's like the cheap beer. It's the cheap ironic beer.
Yeah, you can get those at convenience stores and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, I learned that that's like one of the most or drunken beers in America. Like, I don't drink that shit.
You know why? You know why it originally was? Is because it was cheap. Yeah. And now a bunch of hipsters drink it because it's it's the thing. It's not the main brand. It's not a Budweiser or a thing, but it's still the cheap brand.
Yeah, because I always thought like the main standard, quote unquote, standard beer was Budweiser. At least it was back in the day.
It's Bud, Heineken, and alternatively Corona.
And Corona, Corona's my jam. So we got there, and I got to meet up or re-meet a bunch of gaming industry folks that I already knew from New York. Got to meet a couple new ones, a couple of PR people that I only ever talked to through email. It was kind of good to put faces to them. And the actual award show was kind of fun. It was like definitely not like a big extravagant thing. It was very kind of low key, but people genuinely enjoyed themselves. They had the host, I believe he's from Saturday Night Live or Daily Show, one of those fucking shows. And there was a point where like the Untitled Goose came and like started beating him up, which was kind of funny. They had some live performances and shit. Admittedly, though, I don't remember too much of the show. I was kind of drunk. me and Danny, by the way, by the end of the night, they ran out of beer. So I blame me and Danny for that. We were just fucking drinking, Sam Adams, I'll drink Sam Adams if I'm in a mood for it, but I don't really drink that stuff.
Well, you don't like that's a lager, isn't it?
No, it's ale. That's an ale.
It's ale. Yeah, you don't care for ale.
I'll drink it, but yeah, I like lager. Like shit, like Heineken and Budweiser and shit like that. That's what I like.
You don't like ale.
I'll drink it because it's like thick. I don't like that shit. But yeah, we had a good time there. A lot of awards. The Outer Wilds is won Game of the Year at the awards show, which was pretty interesting.
Right. It wasn't Death Stranding.
Yeah. Also, unlike the Game Awards that Jeff Keighley does, how it's always like just 5 games per category. This one is like, you could have as many as like 20 games per category. They don't give a fuck, you know?
Yeah, because you got to nominate everything that's in there. I mean, let's be honest. The Game Awards is kind of like the marketing awards. They're only going to pick the popular votes. They're not going to pick a bunch of games that nobody heard of.
Pretty much, And
so the Outer Wilds, huh?
The Outer Wilds, yeah. Outer Wilds was there. Another thing that I thought was kind of cool was that all the awards were presented by like gaming journalists from New York based websites. So like I knew half of the people basically. I hung out with them and stuff. Jordan, he was a presenter. My friend Pat, he was there. Mike Andronico, a bunch of really good people there. But the big highlight again was Reggie Fils-Aimé, and it was kind of cool. Before he came on, they played a video montage of how Reggie came up. He's from the Bronx. I don't know if you people knew that. He's from the Bronx. He grew up poor. He made his way up. And made a name for himself. But he left Nintendo. He said because he wanted to go back and kind of give to the community. So he's been going back to the Bronx. Hanging out with some kids and shit, which is pretty cool. And then he came out and just talked a little bit more about the things that he really talked about the past so much. He really more talked about what he wants to focus on in the future. Yeah. Which is, kind of cool. It just seemed up there. He wasn't as like over the top as we view him, though. He was a little bit more subdued, obviously, because he was talking about kids, and they even had some of the kids he's helped out behind him and stuff while he was talking.
He's not marketing anymore,
Yeah, it was a little bit more of a real Reggie. You know what I mean? Because we always talk about how Reggie always kind of came off as that guy. Chris, you met him a couple of times. Like you said, that's how he is.
Yeah. I mean, he's very personable, but when he has like 2 modes, when he's talking personally and then when he's presenting, he has this presentation mode where he like laser focuses and like he gets his point across and stuff. It's pretty interesting to talk to him, and I've talked to him on multiple occasions. But I think it's good. He left for a good reason, for a good cause. So that I can appreciate what he's doing.
Yo, man, is he Reggie from the block?
Yo,
well, at least he's trying to do something, you know.
Reggie from the block.
You crazy, man. And I also want to give a shout out to Gene Park. I've been following him for a little bit on Twitter. He's a video game reporter for the Washington Post, people. Right? Like,
yeah. Usually the Post is a little bit of a.
yeah, it's like they're not really known for video games. So basically, he came up and he presented something. First thing that struck me was he's old. He's like in his 50s and stuff, like, because normally gaming reporters are young, you know. So I talked to him outside, really good guy, and I told him, like, hey man, that's kind of cool that you're like an older guy, you're covering games. Like, yeah man, I really have a passion for this stuff, and I really enjoy doing this, and I'm like, that's fucking cool, man. It goes to show you, it doesn't matter how old you are. If you have a passion for this shit, you could do it, you know.
Well, isn't like Torrance almost 50?
Yeah, here's the thing. Torrance is 50, but he doesn't visibly look 50. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, he's a young 50.
I'm gonna say something.
Oh, wait, excuse me?
Black don't crack. Black don't crack. Man.
Black don't crack.
That is
well, think about it like this. Manny and I, we're pretty much 40, right? We don't look our fucking age, you know?
Look at Chris.
Yeah, look at Chris. Chris, he's older than us. He doesn't look his age, you know? Carlos looks like he's 16, man.
Brian's like 90. He's been lying.
Yeah.
Honestly, Brian looks like older to probably all of us, maybe.
Yeah. I just realized something. Since we don't have Brett here, this is a minority show.
The minority?
They're bringing it back. Look, shout out to the Bit Bag for having the minority show. For you guys who don't know, the minority show, big influence on Throwdown, believe it or not. Big influence. I love that show. Because it was very different than Warzone. It was very structured. I'm like, I like that structure. I want to do that in my podcast.
We need to have one of those guys on the show.
We've had Charlie on for 2 episodes. Yeah. There's another guy we've had on the show too, but we don't need to talk about him right now. Actually, hold on. Now I'm thinking about it. The 3 core guys we've had on this show at some point or another. Not together, but we've had them all. 2 of them will probably be back. The doors are still open. One guy, he probably won't be back. So I'm not gonna name names, but my throat. Sorry about that. So God. So yeah, New York Video Game Awards was a lot of fun. Shout out to everybody that was there. Hopefully I'll be there. And your boy was dressed up, to had a shirt and tie and shit. I had to be presentable, which I found funny because there was like half the guys there were just dressed normal because it was open to the public, and everybody else that was dressed quote unquote normal, they all had Nintendo shit. They all came to see Reggie. One of the guys behind us, I forgot what state he was from. One of those fucking states, from the Midwest. They flew all the way up.
Wyoming.
Probably. Although, if you guys ever saw that, it's like a joke map, like a New Yorker's interpretation of like America. Basically, you have like New York and New York State. It's like the greatest place on earth, right? Then New England is like Red Sox fans, right? Then the middle of the country, it's just red. It says rednecks, kids, sister fuckers, all this shit, And then all the way on the West Coast is like hippies. That's pretty much, that's how we see America. So like that big red spot, I'm like, all those states run together for me, man. So he's from one of those states, but I'm guessing one of the states closer to the lakes. And he was like, yeah, man, flew all this way out here for Reggie. He had the fucking Mario hat with the googly eyes and shit from Super Mario Odyssey.
Okay, you didn't see Triforce?
I didn't see Triforce. Maybe he fainted, Maybe that's why I didn't see him.
He's out in the alley somewhere.
Oh, man. You guys are nuts in the chat right now, man. I can't even say some of this shit on here. Anyway, so we're going to wrap it up here with games we've been playing lately. Again, it sucks we don't have Adam because Adam fills up 20 minutes by himself during the second.
By the way,
yo, duty.
Before Brian goes, can I mention something real quick?
I need to say something first because it's related to your stories, Tony.
Okay, go ahead, man.
Nice shoes.
Oh, thank you, Brian. By the way, Brian, did you enjoy the return of Tony's street tweets?
I always enjoy your street tweets, Tony. Like you and your drunk tweets, and anytime that you leave your place tweets, they're like the best tweets. I swear.
Yeah. So I like because there was some shit going on that night after I left the venue. So I was like, Brian's gonna enjoy the fuck out of this, man. I had some adventures, man. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you this. Fuck that. I'm telling you right now, man, because I said this on Twitter, so it's already public anyway, right? One of the highlights for me was I was on the elevator in Roosevelt Avenue, right? 74th Street. And this chick pulls out a dollar bill, right? Lays it flat and just snorts it, you know? So I'm guessing she used the dollar bill to snort some blow earlier. So I look at her and I'm like, yo, that must have been some good shit. You don't want to waste any of it. She looks at me, she's like, yeah, my friend gave it to me.
all proud and shit.
You know, yeah, like she was proud as a motherfucker, you know?
What the fuck?
And there was this other, I was telling Manny this earlier, right? I was on the 7 train. Yo, I had adventures that night, man. I was on the 7 train and these two bums and shit. One of them, I knew he was right next to me. There was another one behind me that I didn't know at the point. So these people from a homeless shelter came and they came up to the first guy and like, hey, excuse me, sir. Do you need a place to stay tonight? You need some help? And he was like, no, I'm good. I'm going to Bronx, blah, blah, blah. All this shit, right? Then, you know, they come up, from what I see, they come up to me like, sir, do you need a place to stay tonight? I'm like, no, I'm good. And they're like, no, we know you don't need help. And then they pointed behind me. I'm like, oh, there's a dude sleeping back there. I'm like, yo, I'm dressed all fancy. I got headphones and shit. I don't need any fucking handouts, you know?
Well, I mean, because to be honest, it's like you're kind of used to being that guy. Like, you know, somebody's like, oh, sir, can you need some help? You know, get... But little did you know, it was like there's something behind you.
Yeah. Yo, and this other, I'll tell you guys again, filling up time here. You know, for you guys who don't know, I'm in a wheelchair, right? So I always have to deal with some form of bullshit, right? One of the things, and many have seen this too, people feel compelled to tell me their sob stories, which is funny because I don't give a fuck. You know, so I'm on the E train going to the city, and this other guy in a wheelchair comes in, and he had that look in his eye. I'm like, oh shit. He's going to hit me up. Here we go. So from Roosevelt Avenue all the way to 34th Street in Manhattan, out of here, this dude's stories, you know, and I'm trying to be polite because I don't know if he's going to pull a gun out on me and shit if I don't listen to him, you know. And I'm like, all right, man, come on. Like, you know, and like some of these people, like, they can't tell us, like, if I'm not really responding, you know, doesn't that tell you something? But I get, luckily for me, one other guy came because the guy, I think he was like a former police officer or something. Another guy came, he had a police officer hat, and then they started talking. I'm like, all right, I don't have to hear this anymore, you know? But yeah, good times that night. By the way, apologies to one of our fans, Illustrated Dio, who plays Monster Hunter. Apparently, I didn't know this. He works at the 8th Avenue, 14th Street train station, right? He saw me pass by, but, you know, if you guys ever see me on the street, I'm always flying, you know? And in this case, I was, like, so focused on trying to get home because it was fucking cold that night. I didn't even look around. I never look around, you know, I just look at whatever's in front of me. I don't really look off to the sides, you know? So shout out to Dio, and I'm sorry for missing you, brother. You know? All right, let's talk about what games we've been talking about. And Brian, why don't you start off? What have you been playing lately, sir?
I actually finished off Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 the other day. So
Oh shit!
went through, finally reached max level of 99 with my squad. So my squad was Hulk, of course, Scarlet Witch. I had Captain Marvel in there because she's actually quite big.
Captain Marvel, really?
Yeah, she's actually not that bad in the game.
In the game,
Of course. Yeah, in the game. I'm not talking about anything else. And Doctor Strange, because I love me some mystic people. So yeah, went through, did max level on those 4 characters, and I'll call it a day. Yeah, that game is really repetitive towards like the last couple of levels. Like, don't play the game if you don't like grinding, because it's just wow, grind and a half, you know. But it's kind of cool, you know. Like you fight off with Thanos on the Infinity Gauntlet, and that part's good. And then you fight off Thane with the Infinity Armor, and it's like, this is boring, you know. But yeah, it's fun game, grindy at the end, but whatever. And also been playing some Rage 2. In fact, I'm playing it like right now.
Rage.
Yeah, all thanks to Xbox Game Pass. Because
oh shit,
not.
Brian, man, I don't know you anymore, man. I don't know you.
I have like
playing...
1 month left, so I'm using the crap out of it.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, some shout outs I gotta give out. I was just talking about him. Illustrated Dio is in the chat right now. What's going on, brother?
Yo.
Oh shit, Otaku man.
What?
I should have had you on the fucking show tonight, bro.
What? Andre.
Yeah, Andre, we should have had him on the show. That would have been Andre. You know what, man? If you're free next Thursday, we'll get you on. Actually, hold on. Actually, when I come back from all these fucking trips, we'll get you on. Because I don't think I'm going to be on Throwdown for the next 2 weeks. I don't think I'm gonna. Yeah, Manny or Carlos, one of those guys, is gonna take over.
You wanna double up, Carlos? You do one, I do one.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. So Andre, we'll get you back on the show soon, brother. It's been a while, man. Yeah. Goose 7 says Tony is hilarious. I don't know if he's gonna pull a gun on me if I don't listen to him. It's true. You don't know. You don't know. Yeah. Got to be careful with these motherfuckers, man.
By the way,
especially in the city, man, you got some crazy ass people.
Like, just because some motherfucker's in a wheelchair don't mean he can't kill you.
No. Tony's like, just because I'm in a wheelchair don't mean I can't kill you.
Yeah. No, don't mean I can't get killed,
By the way, Goose 7 asked the question, and I don't know if you know this, Goose, but we have a Discord where you can leave questions, and we have a show on Sundays where we answer those questions. Plug.
Yeah, I think we got to get this. Yeah, Carlos, since you're talking, man, what games have you been playing lately?
Oh man, chess.com and we've been playing Monster Hunter.
That's right, yeah, and we're gonna do more streaming this weekend.
Yo, man, I'm looking forward to it because I want to get some Popeyes.
Oh shit!
That's like ritual now.
Popeye.
It's starting to become tradition. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I got
Go ahead, man.
We talk about video games, but now that talk about Popeyes. So, I've had the Popeyes chicken sandwich like 4 times already.
Lucky bastard.
I prefer Chick-fil-A. It's just the consistency. It's Chick-fil-A. It's reliable. It's always reliable. Popeyes, it's great, but it's not the most consistent.
Chick-fil-A sandwiches tend to be a lot. They don't feel as greasy and nasty as actual Popeyes chickens.
Yeah, they're not that greasy actually compared.
You'll always get you won't get like a flat sandwich like you would at a Popeyes chicken place. Like sometimes it'll look like they just went like that and they smushed the sandwich into itself.
Yeah.
I call it the falling down sandwich. If you remember that movie with Michael Douglas, where he goes to like a fake McDonald's in that world, and he asks for a hamburger, and he gets the hamburger, and it looks all like it was just like somebody stepped on it and gave it to him.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Why doesn't it look like that?" And he puts the really juicy burger on the picture.
Yeah. Yo, Goose, I gave you the link to our Discord, and for anybody else who's not on our Discord, please feel free to join us, man. By the way, I need to give that Popeyes chicken sandwich another try because I had it once. Yeah, it was kind of dry, For me right now, the winner is the Chicken Shack burger. Fucking amazing, man.
Yo, man, when I go to New York, we gotta go back to that Shake Shack.
Oh yeah, we will do that, sir. And Chick-fil-A sandwiches are pretty fucking amazing too.
Yeah. They got all the sauces too.
So I need to give that Popeyes chicken sandwich a shot because Popeyes, my favorite chicken joint, man. Love that place. But that chicken sandwich,
oh shit. Shout out to Rich who's in the chat. Wait, he said I'm gonna end up in the hospital if I keep eating these Popeyes chicken sandwiches. You're not lying.
Well, I mean, you're not eating it all the time, so it's okay.
Yeah,
if you have it every day, you probably get you probably get diabetes or something.
It's not like when KFC came up with the double down sandwich.
Oh,
that shit will put you in the hospital more than one.
or that McDonald's the McDonald's
McGriddle.
Not the McGriddle. That's
the McRib.
Is it the McGriddle is the one with the pancake syrup in it, right?
Yeah,
that one. Yeah, it's like it's a sausage, egg, and pancake syrup all in one thing. Yeah,
I think the McGriddle has the most calories out of anything in the McDonald's menu, which says
it's like you don't need to eat for 2 days.
It's funny though because like that McGriddle is cheaper than an actual hamburger at McDonald's. But it has more than a normal hamburger there.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Goose 7, I added your question to throw down your questions, man. So stay tuned to Sunday night at 10:30 p.m. Eastern to check that out. And you also could ask one more question if you want. Yep. All right, let's pick up where we left off. Manny, have you played anything lately?
I mean, not not lately, but I've been playing. Before I had come to New York for personal business, I did was playing Death Stranding. I'm on chapter 5 right now. Oh no, excuse me, chapter 6 right now. And completing that thing, getting all the preppers and all that sort of stuff up. It's like I'm in the mountains now, and there's a bunch of ghosts in the mountains. and there's a certain event that happens in the game where you don't have a certain useful thing that you have.
Yes, yeah, a certain
Yeah.
item, yeah.
Yeah,
A certain item that's pretty damn useful, and you literally have to do a whole chapter of that and climbing through the mountains where these fucking like it's so many. There's so many of those things, but the one good thing about it is that after chapter 5, you get these things called the umbilical cutters, right? So
Yes.
So all you needed, so like you're walking around, so you know how in Death Stranding, where if you've ever played it, when he covers his mouth, he can kind of sneak up on, and if you walk slow and he covers his mouth, you can actually sneak up on BTs and cut their umbilical cords when you have this thing. So that's what I was doing. I was like, cut, like I literally killed 3 of them. They're like 3 of them all crowded all together, and it was like, cutting them all.
Yeah, and remember the trick: after you cut them, hold down that square so it'll automatically pick up the chiral energy.
The chiral crystals. So the funny thing that happens though when you do that, and it doesn't happen when you kill them normally, you get likes from it.
Yeah, you do, which is weird.
The BTs give you likes for some reason. They're like, yeah. I'm like, you killed us good.
Crazy.
We killed us good.
Chris, man, what have you been playing lately?
So after Death Stranding, I was like, what am I gonna do now? And my wife was like, why don't you finish Sekiro? You didn't finish it yet. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do one better. Now I'm gonna platinum Sekiro.
What?
Excuse me? Yo, man, you're gonna platinum the game of the year, son?
Game of the year, baby. Yeah. Once you get a taste of platinum, baby, you go.
Yeah,
the
platinum and Death Stranding. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. So Sekiro I'm working on now. I'm working on so I'm grinding out all the moves, and then I have to grind out all the stuff I need to get all his arm upgrades, and then I'll go fight the last dude. Which I'm right there. I'm at the end of the game. I could just go fight him right now, but I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking grind until I earn all the moves, get those trophies.
That's gonna be crazy, bro.
Yeah, man.
You are the true gamer. You're gonna get like 3,000 hours this year, man.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, out of from the other show, out of all of us, you have the most hours compared to Adam, who we thought was the gamer god.
Yeah, the gamer fraud. You mean it's like gamer fraud? Oh man,
but he was playing more Switch than probably.
He's played Switch and Arcade 1-Up and all that.
Yeah, he probably has more hours in Arcade 1-Up than all of us combined with everything else. Yeah, we don't count that.
Where's that trophy though?
Yeah, right. It don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. Yeah, this shit don't count.
Chibo, son.
Yeah, them shit don't count, man. All right. As for myself, and you will see my review up tomorrow on Geek.com. I have been playing Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, people.
Kakarot.
If you guys have heard Throwdown or seen me on Twitter, you know I'm not a fan of anime games. I love Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z is the shit. I do not like Dragon Ball Z games. And I do not count Dragon Ball FighterZ because that is really an Arc System Works game with a Dragon Ball Z skin. Let's just be real here, right? And this game has not changed my mind on Dragon Ball Z games. Just being real. I said this, and I say this in my review. Here's a little sneak peek for you guys, right? If you are a fan of Dragon Ball Z, you're gonna like this game purely because of the fact that it has all those characters, all those set pieces, all those moments, all that shit in there, right? But you could experience the entire saga in 40 hours instead of like 50,000 hours, like the fucking anime, right? But as a game, nah, son. The main things are basically combat, right? Exploration, open world, quote unquote open world exploration, and some RPG elements, and they meld okayish, but no, there's no aspect of it that is really exemplary. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, it's like these kind of blandish open worlds. The RPG systems, you could just ignore them if you want, like the progression and shit. You could ignore that if you really want. Just blast through the story because the battles are really easy and the battles are also really, really repetitive. So if you're like a normal fan that's like, hey, Dragon Ball Z, I've heard of this. Maybe I should check out the game. Nah, don't bother. You're gonna be like, what the fuck is this shit? But if you like Dragon Ball Z, you know, again, what's keeping me going is like, oh shit, there's Capsule Corp, you know, shit like that. Like that's cool. But,
you know, familiar places from the shows.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and then when I went to Ginger City, I think it is, like, oh, I know what happens to this place. Oh shit, you know, the place that, you know, Cell destroys and stuff. But other than that, you know, like Panoramic, that's all good. But yeah, also there's been some weird kind of censorship in that game too, which is funny. You know, one of the weirdest ones, and I saw this one today, is basically, if you guys remember Dr. Gero, right? In the anime, you know, one of the big reveals is like when they kick his head and his helmet falls off, you see he has a fucking brain in there, like a human brain. Lets you know, like, oh, this guy's not an android. It's actually Dr. Gero. In this game, the helmet stays on the entire time. Doesn't come off. It's
He's
like
the guy that built the androids, right?
Yeah. So it's like they don't want to show the brain or something, you know?
It is a T for, was it E for everyone, is it?
I don't know the rating, believe it or not. Also, but this kind of editing, I kind of makes sense. Whenever Gohan, he transforms to a big Uzaru, and then he comes back. When comes back, he has clothes on. You know.
Oh, they don't even show him with it. Like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, but that makes sense. But yeah, the Dr. Gero thing was kind of weird, and there's not blood in this game that I noticed. Like, you know, there's blood in the Dragon Ball Z anime if you guys saw it.
Yeah, I was watching. Some guy showed the beginning of the Frieza saga. You remember when the Doria comes out and he like murders those villagers?
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, he just punches one dude and then it goes right back into the gameplay.
It is.
I'm like, what happened? He murdered the whole fucking village, man. He beat those three guys to death.
It is a T for teen game.
Maybe that's why. Yeah.
But I mean, even then, you could show a little bit of blood.
Yeah, there's no blood at all in this. Like right now, because I'm still in the, just being honest, I didn't need to beat the whole game. I kind of got the gist of it. I played about 12 hours or something. Like I haven't beaten the Frieza saga yet, but I did get to the point where you got Captain Ginyu switches bodies with Goku. So remember, what he does is he like shoves his hand into his own body and fucks himself up. So when they switch bodies, like you see him like kind of just, it looks like he just punches himself, you know? So it's almost like watching like the old Dragon Ball Z's in America where they would like, do these weird edits. But at least they still say kill. They don't go, another dimension. I'm gonna
send you to another dimension.
Yeah. They don't do that shit, But,
they should have started doing that.
Yeah, right. I'll send you to another dimension.
Did you see the Home for Infinite Losers?
I have not seen that yet. Oh, no. Hell? Yeah, I've been to hell, though. No, they call it hell, and I'm pretty sure
they call it hell.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're gonna say Mr. Satan, not what's
Hercule.
Oh, man,
Hercule. Or Mr. Maybe they'll call it Mr. Satin.
Yeah, Mr. Satin. There you. Why did they call him Mr. Satin? That would
they could have just called it Mr. Satin.
So yeah, I played that. Played some Monster Hunter last week. I'll play some Monster Hunter this week. We got to talk about this off here, but we got to see what's going to happen on Friday night because I'm not going to be around. I'm going to be drinking. So maybe you guys can remember. I don't have to be the only one that streams around here. So maybe you guys can do it. But Saturday, I'll definitely be around for that. But if nothing, we'll get you Saturday for sure. We'll see about Friday. And that's pretty much it. And looking at the February games, I guess I'm not gonna be playing many games in the coming months either. Jesus Christ, what a wasteland!
You could play a little something that you hadn't played yet. You got some.
Yeah, I got games. Maybe I'll platinum Death Stranding.
I'm working toward the platinum Death Stranding too. So I did a lot of those grindy trophies already. I got the gold trophy. The Legend of Legend and the one before that one. I got those two, and then the next one is just to get all the little microchips and get everybody into level 5.
Yeah, or maybe I should play The Witcher.
The Witcher. Oh. Well, I would say if you play The Witcher, you know what you should do?
What? Stream it?
Stream.
No, I'm not going to do that. Play what now? Oh, you did say stream, didn't you? Mm-hmm. All right, now I'm not going to do that. Because nah. All right, because then it'll take me forever. Because if I'm going to stream, I'm only going to stream at night.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's not gonna happen. But yeah, that's gonna do it for us, man. So hopefully Adam will get better. He'll be back on Sunday. And again, I want to give a congratulations to Gamer Tag Radio for getting Phil Spencer for episode 1000 of GTR. I believe that's going to go up either next week or the week after that. So look out for it. That should be really, really cool, you know? And yeah, that's it for us, people. So thank you for watching and listening. Subscribe to Throwdown on SoundCloud, iTunes, and YouTube. Follow us on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook at Throwdown Show. Links are located in the description below. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco. And tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you later, guys.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
This is.
We got one more, Carlos.
The Lucha Underground?
You should have watched Lucha Underground. Yeah. Hey, the people.
And Brian Munjoma.
Keep it classy, people.
That's it, man. We'll see you next time, man. Later.
Later, guys.
Later, party people.
Don't vote for Joe Biden. Later, people.
Excuse me?